Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? The Saints are in a position right now where, they look, with a win last night, Tampa would have won the division. Saints have won the division 4 straight years. A great effort by New Orleans not to give up the crown to the division it has held for the last 4 years, and to play the game that they did offensively, which we'll get to in a second. A lot of people are asking what options the Saints may have at quarterback for the remainder of the year. I do want to talk about that. But when you look at this playoff picture in the NFC, the Packers are the only team that have clinched a playoff spot right now. They're 11-3. They're first in the NFC North. The Packers have clinched a playoff spot. Dallas presently is in the 2 seed, followed by Tampa. Both of them are 10-4, as is Arizona, which had an ugly loss yesterday to the Lions. The Rams are at 9-4, and they'll play the Seahawks. And then we're also looking at the 49ers at 8-6. They're presently in the 6th seed. And then there you find the Saints at 7-7, presently in the last playoff spot. Washington plays the Eagles. They're a game out at 6-7. The Vikings also at 6-7. The Eagles at 6-7. And the Falcons are there at 6-8. The Seahawks are at 5-8, so we'll have to watch Washington as well, or Seattle, to see what they do. But the Saints have the head-to-head against Washington. They lost, of course, to Philly. So you're cheering in that game between Washington and Philly. You are cheering for Washington in that game. You want Philly to lose. The Saints do not want to end up in a tiebreaker with Philly. Also, the Vikings playing tonight against the Bears, very much pulling for the Bears to win at home against the Vikings and drop the Vikings to an 8th loss. That's what we're looking at right now with New Orleans. And when you look at the tie-breaking procedure, you're looking at Wild Card Club with best record, second best record, third best record, and then you have all the tiebreakers where head-to-head would be, between the two clubs, would be the deciding factor if it comes down to it, which is why, if you're the Saints, you're really pulling for Washington in that ball game against Philly. So then you start to look at what's next for New Orleans with their next 3 games. First up is Miami on Monday Night Football. So the Saints are going to have an extra day to get ready for that game on Monday Night Football. And the Dolphins are have had a similar odd trajectory as New Orleans. They won their opener. The Dolphins lost 6 straight games. And now they lost 7 straight games. Now they've won 6 straight games to get to 7-7 overall. So as improbable as New Orleans losing 5 in a row and potentially making the playoffs, it would be even more so for Miami, which lost 7 straight. It is now looking to get into the postseason, as they're at 7-7 right now, and they'll come into the Dome on Monday Night Football. The first line that I saw dropped for the Saints and Dolphins has the Saints as a 3.5-point favorite. It opened at 3, got bet up to 3.5. So New Orleans is an early favorite in this game against Miami, and then you would presume the Saints would also be home favorites against Carolina. In Week 18, they'll be on the road in Atlanta. Never easy to go on the road in the NFL, certainly in your division where teams know each other so well. And Atlanta already beat New Orleans once this year. So we'll see if the Saints would be a road favorite against the Falcons. But they're a field goal home favorite right now against the Dolphins to open up. And the really difficult part of this is that as high as you are coming off of that win, the saying that I often use is, winning masks deficiencies. And it's true. But as high as we are coming off that win, you can't lose sight of the fact that the Saints put up 212 yards of offense and scored 9 points. The win is amazing. And, choking out Tom Brady is a lot of fun to see. And watching Tom Brady break the tablet on the sideline and come trot over to the Saints bench and F-bomb one of the assistant coaches. It's amazing to see. Watching CD Deuce stick out his tongue after he picks off Tom Brady and fold his arms and like all that's a blast. And it's why I'd much rather watch my team win than cheer for a draft spot, especially in a draft where there isn't really a clear-cut top of the draft quarterback where you go, that's the no-doubter, right? The generational type prospect. Give me wins. Give me a playoff appearance. Give me a roster that can say to an Aaron Rodgers, to a Russell Wilson in this offseason, hey, that's the only thing they're missing. They've got the elite defense. They've got the great running back. They got the really good offensive line. Michael Thomas is coming back healthy. They'll probably draft a receiver. Like, give me a playoff team that's a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team. And I think that's where New Orleans is. The other thing that was just very apparent by the way, so since Jameis's injury, the Saints are averaging 19 points a game. Before Jameis's injury, they were averaging 25 a game. So you're almost a full touchdown less per game without Jameis than you were with him. I'm not telling you Jameis is the answer. I'm not saying he's the long-term answer that's going to win you Super Bowls, but he's certainly a much better option than what you have. And what's become abundantly clear now is Taysom Hill is never going to be that guy. I knew that. I think many of you knew it as well. Sean Payton's the last guy that's got to be convinced, and the Saints still gave him that monster contract. I got a text during the break from Bronson who said, why not go make a run at Phillip Rivers right now? I mean, he is a free agent. He's unsigned, so you could theoretically bring in Phillip Rivers off the street right now, but you're not going to do that in week 15 and bring somebody in who it would take a couple of weeks to get him acclimated and up to speed with your offense, with your terminology, with your personnel. It just doesn't make any sense to do that now. When Jameis was injured, sure. Like when that injury happened, I could have totally been on board with that. But they didn't go that route. They rolled with Trevor Siemian. They lost 4 straight. They put in Taysom Hill. Now they've won a couple in spite of Taysom Hill not being very good. But this is the answer. They signed Taysom Hill to that contract, which incentivized him if he became the starter. It's clear when you watch it now, he'll never be the starter for this team. I mean, the shallow cross from Alvin Kamara that he throws behind him, his lack of pocket awareness, his lack of accuracy on deep balls, he's just never going to be that guy. We know it. He's 31 years old. Well, with some years and time, he's 31. He's not 22. He's 31 years old. He's what he is. And he's never going to be a starter. That's okay. He's a great locker room guy. He's a really dynamic runner. He still gives you a lot in your offense in the role that he plays so well. But the reality is with that also, the more he ages, the less effective he's going to be as a runner. So I don't know. What I do know is that Taysom Hill won't be starting for this team at quarterback next season or ever after this year. And I'm good with that. But this is the time to experiment to see if you're ever going to get there. And even with Taysom Hill, you might still be able to beat the teams remaining on your schedule and get into the playoffs. And I hope they do, because I'd much rather see my team in the playoffs than at home for the playoffs. It's probably not going to be it's not going to be as the division champion, but they can still earn a wild card berth, and it's not improbable to think they're currently in that 7th spot right now. So find a way to win your last 3 games or 2 of the last 3 and hope that the tiebreakers fall your way and get in the playoffs. And go see if you can upset somebody. Go see if you can steal a game somewhere. I mean, you've already beaten Green Bay, New England, and Tampa twice in this season. Yeah, Scott Chanley said it earlier. You can be dangerous. You're favored against Miami, and you're going to be favored against Carolina. So don't throw up on yourself. Go win a couple of games, see if you can punch your ticket into the playoffs. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.